What's going on? How's everyone doing? What's up, Mr. Sloth? Hope everything's going well. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. How was everyone's weekend? Anyone do anything good? We'll get started in 2 minutes here. Wait for some people to roll in. What's up, Chris? What's going on? Get started in 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. Hey, sometimes a relaxing weekend is better. Need a relaxing weekend every now and then. And the East Coast got hit with the hurricane, but I'm in New York and we barely got hit, which is kind of crazy because they said it was going to be so bad. Um, Second birthday. Tell her happy birthday. Low blow up slide. Those blow up slides are fun, especially the kids love those. I was just looking at PayPal because I saw that they're accepting or they're launching crypto buying and selling in the UK. So I'm sure that's going to fuel some buyers to come in. Um, and this is what I was just doing, charting. Um, I was taking a look at the fib levels. So from the low to the high, we're sitting right in between in the golden zone here, right in between the zero point 0.5 and the 618. We just had a 5 wave sequence. We just had an A, B, C pullback, and it kind of looks like a falling wedge. It's a little dismantled. It's a little different, but this could be a potential breakout, and that news could totally send this. Here's the daily. Take a look at the indicators in the daily. Um, so if we can break over this 277.86 level, which is this previous resistance, right? We rejected here. Um, if we can get back over that 277.86 level, this will start to move back to the upside. Earnings are in October, so we do have a decent amount of time for that. An 821 EMA crossover would be likely if we get over this level. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to set an alert right on this level as well as right before. That way I am notified before the move. But setup looks really good. Right, we had this long period of consolidation, nice bull run, nice pullback right to the golden zone, and potential target of right. This is long term, but 363, which is the wave 5. Really like that. SPY, QQQ. Um, I'm not really going to go over this much. We've just been going straight up. We just had another dip. This just looks like another dip that we have every like 1 or 2 weeks, right? We move to the upside, we dip, up, dip, and so on, right? So I mean, history repeats itself. Price action tends to repeat itself. So we just had our dip, and now we're pretty likely to see another run of let's see, like here we ran 5.96%. Here we ran, so let's just say 6%. Here we ran 5.6, so like 5.5. Here we ran about 5.3%. So you see the trend. So let's take this and right around 5.3% is around 459, 460. So let's see what happens. That's pretty much what I'm basing it off here. We're holding the trend line perfectly, so I don't see anything to be worried about here. Also, if we go in the smaller time frame, we just broke that resistance, right? We had multiple rejections, 1, 2, 3, but we broke through a nice big green candle, and now we are showing some consolidation right below, or actually right above, this previous resistance and this previous support. So if we can get that run through and test the highs again, very, very bullish. QQQ, we were flagging. We were kind of in a sideways pattern consolidation. Look where we bounced on this candle right here, right? We have this previous support, which acted as a resistance right here. So it was very likely that this area was going to reverse, and it did. We broke that resistance. We started flagging, and we started pushing towards the end of the day on Friday. So very, very bullish close. Looking for a break of 368.89, which is right multiple rejections across the board at this level. So if we can break through that level, we should test the high and continue to move back to the upside. IWM been lagging a lot, but I've been talking a lot about this rising bearish wedge. Broke to the downside. We almost tested these lows, but we didn't reach them fully, right? So we created, let's see if I can get this on the freaking candle. We bounced higher than this low. So we created a higher low, excuse me. That's pretty bullish, if you ask me. We held a 236. This is just a 236 from all the way down to the bottom, if I remember correct. Yep, so from the bottom to the top, 236. We've held it multiple times now, right? We've dipped below 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 times, and we reclaimed it. So this is a strong level to hold. Below this 236, then I would be pretty worried. But for now, I think we should start to move back to the upside, and hopefully we get a rotation back into small caps. It's been a long time moving just sideways, back and forth. So we'll see what happens. But for now, definitely not bearish yet. Getting into the setups. What's up, Psycho? How you doing? Or Seiko? I'm pretty sure it's Psycho. So one of my favorite setups this week is mRNA, right? I only play technicals, so I'm not basing this off any COVID news or whatever. This is just a great chart setup that I really like. We have this line which has held multiple times, right? 1, 2, 3, which was a strong reversal point. 4, another big candle right off that level. And now we have another falling wedge after we broke out of this falling wedge, testing this trend line again. And then if we go into the smaller time frame, right? This is just the 30-minute. We have a falling wedge right to this level, and we're retesting this breakout level. So I think if we can break over this 387.49 level, we should totally run to the upside. And my first price target is 413, which is just the top of the falling wedge. If we can break through that, I will easily test around this previous high, which is right around 444, 443. So this could be a massive play. One of my favorites this week. Yep, AMD, mRNA, and Square all look beautiful. So I'm excited to show you guys these setups if you didn't see my Twitter already. Here's AMD, or no, here's Square, excuse me. Square looks unreal as well, right? Multiple tests on this trend line across the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? We had a fake out before the breakout. It's just a classic scenario. You see how it took out this low? I'll just draw a line just so you guys can see. It took out this low. You know how many people probably had their stop loss right here, and it took out everyone's stop loss before running right back to the upside. That's what the market likes to do. Big strong candle right out of there. Just a little learning or a little tip for you guys is set your stop loss like at the next support. so you don't get stopped out before a run like that. But we do have a nice falling wedge. We broke out right at the end of the day on Friday, and we're testing the top of this candle. So if we can break this 263.5 level, we should see a massive candle, maybe a retest before breaking out and continuing to the upside. First target is 278, which is where we rejected multiple times across the board. So it's just it's the same thing over and over again, guys. Every week you should see, what I'm looking for. Just looking to test this level again, the highs. If we can break through that 278 level, we should totally see an all-time high. But square looks great. Take a look at the indicators on the daily. Looks really, really good. We had a strong, strong close. So if we can break out, massive. This looks exactly like AMD. So AMD, right? Same thing. Multiple tests across the board on this support line. Massive falling wedge right to support. This 0.5 fib level, as you can see, this white line just from the bottom to the top. So we're holding the 0.5 very well, right? We dipped below. We had a strong candle. We tested it again and we held. And now we're creating higher lows. So super, super bullish. We need to break over like the 105, 106 level. And if we can, because look at the support, right? This was support right here, turned into resistance. So if we can break above, we should see a nice green candle. We'll test that next 108.49 level. And if we can break through that, we'll test the 111 level. Very, very simple. Easy levels to see. Very easy chart. This is the second falling wedge, by the way. If we take a look at the daily, we just had a falling wedge right here. Right? So upside, falling wedge, upside, bigger falling wedge. After huge, just straight sideways consolidation. So this is due for another run back to the highs. Right, on the daily, this looks beautiful. Take a look at the indicators. Looks unreal. This is primed to test the highs again in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And this is obviously invalidated below the low. Right around 101.98. But looks very, very good. Any questions so far? No questions? All right, next up is spot. So I took a look at spot and we have rejected this level, this trend line multiple times, right? Here, 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 here again, and then we just broke out on Friday. So we just broke out. This could totally start a new move back to the upside after this long 1 to 2 month move to the downside. We just broke out, so this could totally be the bottom here. First level we need to break through is this 220.70 level. Why did I pick this level? If we go on to the daily, my computer's being slow. Major level right across the board, right? This big candle right here. And we kind of put in a low here as well, but we just broke through that. So this next level is 220.70. If we can break through that, I think we potentially might get an 821 EMA crossover and start that run back to the upside. These blue candles that you see here that I have, this is AMD, right? It looks like a huge head and shoulders, which is a bearish pattern, right? Head and shoulders is bearish. We have the left, the head, and the right shoulder. But you can see how AMD, moved to the upside, flagged, and broke out. So potentially the same thing here, just a little later. It just looks very similar. So that's why I wanted to put this on the chart and show you guys. but we could totally see a run here. Bullish indicators. We just had that crossover. So really like that chart. Next up, Snap. Another bullish setup. So we had that gap up from earnings. We've just been consolidating since earnings on June 23rd. So about a month of consolidation. As you can see, we are holding that previous resistance perfectly. We're even creating higher and higher lows, right? Just like that. Higher and higher lows. We just broke out through this resistance point. If we can break this top candle, which is 73.38, I think we see a nice big green candle and a potential run back to the highs. 79.18 is the price target. If we break to the upside, stop loss on this is below 70.24. Right, this previous resistance, which became a new support. Coin, another setup that I'm looking for this week. Right, so we have, first of all, yeah, you can overlay charts. It's this indicator right here. Let's see if I can, it's under this one. It's called bars pattern, right? So you click it, and let's say I wanted to do repeat price action. You just, from like here to here, it will copy it, and then you can move it and put it wherever. You can like change the color of it and so on. This indicator right here, just so you know. You can also do ghost feeds, by the way, right? So let's say I thought it was going to come down here, break through, come back down, right? This is exactly how price action works. Right, just like that. It's like fake bars. Something like that. But yeah, back to my point. This old resistance acted perfectly as a new support, right? This area also lined up perfectly with this support, right? So we had confluence right in this zone. If we take the fibs from the low to the high, we bounced right off that 618 level. Let me make this more clear so you could see. Right, this is the 618. Let me put that on the right hand side. Right hand side, okay. Delete this little box. Boom. Bounce right off the 618 from the low to the high. And now we're kind of creating a little inverse head and shoulders, right? We have the left shoulder, the head, and potentially the right shoulder right underneath this resistance. So if we can break this trend line and then move over that 261.15 level, I think we see a nice little pop to 267, and then we also have a gap to fill. So this looks like a really good setup, especially because Bitcoin is doing extremely well, right? Bitcoin's moving way to the upside. We're right underneath 50,000. Speaking of, I'm going to set my alert for that move. But back to coin, we should see a nice pop in all these crypto names: Coin, Mara, Riot, BTP, BTBT, which I'm going to go over in a little bit. So another name that I really like this week. AMC looks pretty good. Here is the daily. Nice falling wedge. Let me clean this up a little bit. So falling wedge, we're putting in higher and higher lows, right? One higher low and another higher low. So if this candle can hold and we move back to the upside and test this 38.76 level, I think we see a huge run back to 45.50 level. And I know Seablast called this out. He likes to set up. So definitely looks pretty good if we can get that move. Visa, I know Ghost was talking about this. This is one of his favorite setups going into this week. Um, but if we take a look at this trend line from the low, right, we have one bounce, two bounce. You can kind of count that as a third bounce. And now we have a falling wedge right to this trend line again. So let me zoom in. Right, falling wedges are my favorite setup, which is why I usually just look for these. But we have a test of this previous support, which used to be a resistance and was support right here as well. So, right, as expected, we bounced and reversed. And we are testing this trend line, right? So if we can break over this 230, 240 level, I think we see a run and test somewhere around this 237 or 235 level, this high. And maybe even, get a run to the highs. Really, really good setup. I included this just because I am bearish on it. Right, previous high, or when the ticker first went public, was 195.50, and we rejected that level perfectly, and now we're creating lower and lower highs, which is a bearish sign. We also have a huge rising bearish wedge, which is a wave 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 5s are typically rising bearish wedges. We just had a really bad earnings. So this just does not look good. If this breaks below 177.15, I mean, I personally don't play puts, but this is just something to put on your watch list and to check out. But I am bearish on this. This is all invalidated below 195.50. So if 195.50 breaks, then it's definitely bullish and going to run to the highs. Especially if COVID lockdowns start again, right? More people are going to probably DoorDash and Uber Eats. Another one that I really like this week. I know C-Blast called this out. This could be a banger of a play. I'm pretty sure this has a really high short interest or short float, like of 30+%. I haven't checked it out, but I'll check that out a little bit later. But if that's true, then this could totally fly. But yeah, kind of looks like AMD a little bit. Massive falling wedge just broke out, and now we retested, right? As you can see, the fib level of just this wave 1, right? The wave 1 breakout is we're testing the 618, and we're holding it perfectly. So if we can hold this 618 and move back to the upside, if we break that candle of 1358, we'll easily test around 16+, 16.5. So it just lines up perfectly. So really, really good setup. This is a Bitcoin play as well. So Bitcoin's hot. This should totally move. Another one I put on my watch list this week is Bank of America. I saw a lot of flow come in on this, so I took a look at it, and it kind of looks really nice. We have multiple touches across the board, right? We have bullish indicators, and we kind of have a bull flag falling wedges type pattern. So I really like this. I think if we can break out of this wedge, I'll just set my alert on the trend line. If we can break through that, I think we'll test these highs again. It kind of looks like a inverse head and shoulders, right? We have our left shoulder head and our right shoulder, with our neckline being pretty even across the board, right? So, it looks pretty decent. Yeah, there's a ton of falling wedge setups. Moving on. Pen. I have this on the watch list just because we are in our buy territory, right? So I mentioned that this area, the golden zone, I would consider purchasing here. Right, we had our huge run up from about 375 to 142, massive run up, and then we had our pullback. We're right in the golden zone here, right in the demand zone. Right, check out the volume profile. We are sitting right here. People want to pick up shares here. I think this is a good spot for a reversal. They just had a good earnings. If we go into the smaller time frame, right, we could see that this level is very important, right? Support, um, another support, and then that became a new resistance, and now we're testing this level again. So if we can break through here, I think we test this 72 level again to 74, and then if we can break that, my next level is 85. So potential bottom here that I am looking to see what happens. What's up, Chase? Hope everything's going well. So Nick just said short float is 40%, so that could totally squeeze. That's a lot of that's a big short interest, short float. So, that could totally pop off. Sir Gore said, in Learning Channel, can you start a Trading View Essential series? What would you want in there? Like the tools and how to use the tools and how to use the program? Yeah, we could totally do that. Absolutely. Or we can always do it on like a live stream. And then here's PayPal. We went over that in the beginning. But again, another falling wedge. Um, I'm not going to go over that again. Let me go over the dashboard now that the dashboard's live. So here is the new UI, user interface. We have, right, the dashboard, the snapshot, which gives an overall perspective on total flow, bearish and bullish wise, and total premium spent within. And you could obviously swipe through and see, what's going on here. We have historical, which you can type in a specific date on any ticker and see what kind of flow we got. It's very good for just going back and checking it out. And now we just added the charts page, so you can chart directly from in here if you wanted, right? Something like this, right? So now you could chart directly in here. You can go back and forth, and just makes it very, very simple. Dashboard wise, we added these advanced filters, volume greater than open interest, right? So you could see what contracts are being loaded within that day, right? So if the volume is higher than the open interest, that's new money being put in to those contracts, right? So those are basically people being bullish. So a ton of volume going into that contract. Out of the money calls and out of the money puts. So again, I'll go over the filters that I use when trading. So I do out of the money calls. We added, what else did we add? I'm pretty sure all these filters are new. I don't know if you guys had these before. But when I do it, I just do calls, but I do have out of the money calls on, so that's why just one option is there. And I also just remove it off the table, right? You can drag it on and off. You can change where it is. If you want something in a different spot, you can obviously change that. I just remove it off because all I look for is calls. Next, right? So you can change the layout, right? So if you wanted this in the middle, you can put that in the middle. If you wanted, whatever you want, you guys get the point. I also just look for sweeps. So I turn off trades and I take sweeps and I move it off the table. I don't need that because I look for just calls. I just look for sweeps and I'm just looking for stuff that's bullish. All right. So I just turn that bullish and I move it off the table. Right. I don't need it. And I put the volume in front of the open interest just because I do like to see if the volume is greater than the open interest. I could turn it on, but I also want to see other if it's not. So that's why I leave it off. And this is exactly what I look for. I even do the premium actually. I do greater than or equals usually 50,000. Right? I don't really need to see things that are under 50. You could do, any number, 500,000, whatever you want. right? So here's BAC. Here's what I saw: 875,000 in a 41 call for 1119. But it's a bullish call. Um, Volume was greater than the open interest, so there was new money being put in, and that's why I liked it. That's why I added it to my watch list, because it does look like it does want 41, right? 41 is outside this flag, so that's bullish. But yeah, I this is exactly how I trade. Oh, another feature that we added is a copy and paste, right? So you can either click this, you can copy it with the headers, right? So if you do copy with headers, um, the time, ticker, expiration, and so on will be included in the copy and paste, right? Or you can just drag um, and copy specific things that you want, right? I'm holding the command button to just include specific things, right? And then you could Control C and it would copy it, and then you could paste those. Or you could right click, copy with headers, or you can even export to Excel or CSV export. So, ton of new features. You can turn off auto refresh. So, let's say you want to stop the flow coming in, turn off auto refresh, and it will stop all the flow from coming in, and then you can turn it back on. Let's see what else. You can clear it. So, that just cleared everything. Let's refresh the page. Now everything's back. This stuff was here, but let's say we wanted to look at like Microsoft, right? Only Microsoft comes up, and the call to put flow comes up, right? Tesla, everything changes. AMD, very, very bullish flow, 72%. Let's see, mRNA, 62%. Square, 72%. What was Tesla? 65%. Amazon, 73%, pretty bullish. And so on. Let's see PayPal actually, because now that news came out, 60%. So just interesting to see, like what people are taking. A ton of bullish flow right before close. People sold their puts. Look at this. So this guy bought 827, which is this Friday, this upcoming Friday. A 285 call, which is $14 out of the money. For $69 per contract. He sweeped it for $27,000. Pretty interesting because that news just came out. And it was just moving sideways all day. And he bought that, which is, he's indicating 285, which is, that's pretty interesting. Right around a 4.5% move. So it's totally possible to go in the money. What's up, Nick? Hope everything's going well. We did all cover all the tickers already. And now I was just going through the dashboard. But if you just want to rewind a little bit and see all our new features, totally feel free to do that. Let's see our top out of the money bullish flow. So out of the money calls, we'll leave sweeps on. Let's see, greater than or equals. Let's do a million. So none. There was none. Let's see the top bullish calls. All right, it's just interesting to see. Oh, because I typed in PayPal. So there was no out of the money calls. Awesome. Yeah, dashboard is unbelievable. Like you guys have to use this. This is such a game changer. And there are way other like there's so many other unusual options platforms, but no other platforms have like a Discord and like analyst and everything. Like we have everything now. And this like as you guys know, the people that have been here for a decent amount of time, like this dashboard is new. We have so many features coming. Chris and I have like so many ideas, like because we've been long time traders, so like we know what traders could use as opposed to these other platforms. Like it's not these people don't even trade. They're just doing it for business. So we have so many features that we're putting and that we're implementing into this dashboard. It's gonna get so much better. This is just a start, guys. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be actually amazing. Um, top flow, top bullish flow last week or on Friday. SPY, Nvidia, and Microsoft. Interesting. A 439. This is a massive trade. Deep in the money though. Oh, so this expired already. So these people just wanted to exercise it. Interesting. Very interesting. 800,000. Let's see. Dash. Bank of America. Very, very interesting. A lot of banks, right? Wells Fargo, Bank of America. That's an airline. UAL. Let's check out UAL, right? UAL has popped up once, twice, and now 3 times. They sold 47 puts, which was in the money puts for over $1 million, 900,000. Yeah, Nvidia can totally run. I don't think I checked that out actually. Oh yeah, it was testing the highs. It had a huge run. It's testing the previous highs. It just broke this previous high, which is right around 207. And now it's testing that 208.75 level. Let's check out UAL. So look, people were selling their puts, right? 10-1-47 puts, right? In the money puts. Um, oh, this was Friday expiration. But this one's 10-1. But these people probably sold because it held this bottom, right? If it broke below, it totally would have fell. But it held and it bounced. So it's a good idea to sell those. PFE. I mean, this is crazy. I haven't looked at this in a long time. It's going straight up. But it does look like they do have a falling wedge here of some sort, right? I mean, this could totally be bearish, right? If it breaks below that candle, which is this previous resistance became a support. So if it breaks below this, it's definitely bearish, but the indicators are pretty bullish. I would want to see a break over right one of those candles, right? 49.46. But yeah, definitely totally something with the Fed with the Fed. It's just interesting to see the flow. I like looking at it after news comes out because you always find those insider trades. You just have to like be aware. Let's check out the top paid trades. It's just interesting to see. What should we do? $2 million. So only two trades, both on NVIDIA, bullish and neutral, both calls. 820, so this expired, but 827, deep in the money for 6.5 million. This was taken at 3:39 p.m. Eastern time, so 20 minutes before close. Interesting. Very, very interesting. 1 million. So I'm just gonna look for repeat names. So we have Apple twice. Let's do 1 million out of the money. Starbucks. Interesting. So someone bought 120 calls, or they sold them, I guess, because it's bearish. That's a Nancy call. Yeah, that is a Nancy call. Honestly, it probably is. So let's check Starbucks. Yeah, they probably sold them because it fell below. All right, this is an example of a falling wedge not working. Great setup. It broke out. It failed that previous level, right? Rejected. Rejected. I mean, it became a new support, and then it rejected. And then it just fell down. BNTX. Let's see. Yep, like this is another good setup, a nice little flag. Right, very, very similar. It doesn't really have that same area of support. So, right, one bounce, two bounce. This could totally break to the downside, or it could obviously break to the upside, but it is setting up. But I do like mRNA way better than this. Yeah, so if it's a call and it's bearish, it means they sold pretty much. It's not confirmed, but it pretty much means that they sold. And if it's a put bullish, it means they sold it. W day. Let's check it out. So like this is just moving straight sideways, so you definitely have to wait for it to break out because you don't want consolidation as an option trader, right? It's just going to kill premiums. Um, yeah, that's like all I would include in this chart right here. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, my computer's being so slow. Kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders a little bit, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So if it can break out here and break through, yeah, like over this 240, 242 level, I think this could potentially run. I'll set my alert, but I'm not gonna watch this. Yep, they definitely are doing the same, William. Um, but technically speaking, based off price action, I like mRNA better. So Snow had that big drop, but it reversed extremely well. right off. That old resistance acted as a support. Same thing happened right here, right? Fell below, but it reclaimed. We kind of have to wait and see what happens, right? This white trend line, it fell right below. This was a pretty big time support. If it can break back over the 274 level, I would consider it, right? Because this was a previous resistance. Previous resistance acted as a support here twice, and was resistance again here. So definitely needs back over that. Also, earnings are coming up, so totally be careful on the 25th, Tuesday or Wednesday. Facebook, let's check it out. So yeah, another good setup here. Um, Held the lows, right? Had the falling wedge breakout. Wave 5 target was hit. A, B, potential C wave here. We're right at these highs, right? So we were rejected once, twice, became a support, became a support again. Now we're testing it as resistance. So if we can break through, which we are already over that 358.79 level, if this can hold, I think we could potentially see some more upside. Whoops. Yeah, looks pretty decent, man. I just think there's better setups available. Low. Let's check it out. So low just had a massive spike. They just had earnings better than expected. Um, we're approaching this high. You see how it rejected it perfectly. It needs over this level to test the high. So if it can close over that 208.98 level, it should test 215.22. That's all I gotta say for that. Cool. I remember you asking me about this. Followed this trend line perfectly, right? One bounce, two bounce, three, four, now five. It is kind of forming this top here. So it needs over that. Ford. Ford just broke below that previous support. I really wouldn't touch it until it's back over. HD. I remember playing this falling wedge. That was a great play. Let's see. Let's redo it a little bit here. So knees back over. You see how this trend line acted perfectly and then it gapped down below. That's usually what happens when these supports fail. I wouldn't really touch this until we get over like around that area, 333, maybe, to see if it breaks through where there's confluence. But that's just my preference, right? I play certain setups. Everyone has their own trading method, and everyone has different setups that they like. Personally, not something that I would touch. All All right, guys. So if you haven't already, go check out the dashboard. Go play around with it. Get comfortable with it. Make this your friend. This will change the game for you. Okay? If you have any questions, obviously, and as always, please reach out. All right? That's it from me. Another good session. I will see you guys in the morning. Let's have another killer week. I'll see you guys tomorrow.